It is off-season time here for the Boston Bruins. Unfortunately, we dropped Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals against the Carolina Hurricanes in heartbreaking fashion. We went into the third period up 3-1 and gave up 4 third-period goals, or 3. I don't remember. Either way, we lost. I think we lost 5-3, but we lost, so it doesn't really matter what the score was. So it's off-season time. And thankfully, Johan Larsson is on the verge of returning now. That's great for us. Connor Bedard is, wow, he's really good. We're going to have a really low pick, so we're not going to be able to obviously go after any of these guys, but that's fine. Anything interesting here? Dylan Larkin had a big game for the U.S. against Finland, had 4 assists. World Championship MVP won by Alexander Holtz. Wow. Where did he come from? Goalie was won by Robin Lehner. And best defenseman, Colton Parayko. Sweden won the World Championship. They beat Canada 5-4. How about that? All right, so let's delete these. We do have to sim through the rest of the regular season, so I'm just going to sim ahead to... I guess we'll just go to next. It's going to stop us at June 2nd for Hall of Fame voting, I think. So Vancouver takes a 1-0 lead. Vancouver and Carolina. That's a TV station's dream. The two giant markets of Vancouver, British Columbia, and Raleigh, North Carolina. As I have my coffee while this thing sims ahead, Vancouver takes a 2-0 lead with a 6-4 victory in Game 2, and it's going to stop us here on June 2nd. I will take a look and see if there are any players we need to re-sign or anything we need to clean up here before the season ends. So we do have a message. Development report. You can see all the guys highlighted in red are on the team. Newhook continues to get better, which is nice. He had a really nice rookie season for us. Vakanainen, Connor Timmins, Robert Kalisti got a lot better, so he'll probably be up next season as an offensive. Or maybe we'll keep him down one more year, and he'll replace Gustafsson when he moves on. Corrali got a little worse. Yeah, Sean's time is about up here with the Bruins. Hall of Fame vote. Who are we going to vote for? Pronger. Kachuk. I've always been a Theo Fleury guy. I like him. We're going to vote for Boris Mikhailov, though. He, because he spent most of his time in Russia, is under the radar a little bit. I'm not going to vote for the Sedin sisters. Yes, I'm a Bruins fan. I know that Jeff, one of the guys who created FHM, is a Vancouver fan, but I refuse to vote for either of the Sedin twins. Sorry, Jeff. And my 4th vote will go to Ray Whitney. I like Ray Whitney. So those are there. Let's take a look at our upcoming free agents. Anything we need to do anything with here? So Bilyalov wasn't very good last year in Providence. And what does he want for a contract? I mean, he doesn't want a ton of money. It might not be bad to bring him back as depth. Yeah, I'm okay with that. What does he want? $900 for 2 years. Yeah, meet demand. Oops. Sorry. All right, so we'll submit that. Giordano, he's going to want too much. Yeah, 6.5. He was good for us. I mean, I'm pleased with what he brought to the table. 7 points in 14 games was a +3. Just going to want too much money to come back. We're not going to bring back Wagner. I don't care about Clifton or Berglund, so we're okay there. We are going to have some contracts we're going to have to move, but we'll deal with that later. So let's go ahead and sim ahead to the awards. I just want to get through the Vancouver's up 3-0. So once we get through the Stanley Cup final, Carolina wins. It's now 3-1. Vancouver, Carolina wins again. It's now 3-2. Once we get through the end of the Stanley Cup. Wow, Carolina comes back to tie it at 3. Game 7. And who won? Are are we not there yet? Is there game 7 now? NHL schedule. Yeah, the game hasn't been played yet. All right, so we got some stuff to do. We've done all this. We signed Billy Yaloff, which is good. Mike Dunham. Yeah, I'm going to have to bring all these guys back. And that's also something we're going to want to take a look at. We'll take a look at our scouting once the season is up and see if there's anything we need to do. See if we need to add anything if anybody's retired. I love PJ Axelson. He'll always be number 11 in my heart. Bernard, Demers, yes. We just got to re-sign all these guys. Probably, I don't know if there's a way to, I'll have to look and see if there's a way to set all this like there is an OTP. This is just tedious to click negotiate. Like there's no reason not to bring any of these guys back, frankly. So we have a Hall of Fame runoff vote. Petri Salvalainen, bring him back, Hall of Fame runoff vote. I can select one player from this list, Ray Whitney. That's who I voted for before. All right, so let's go ahead to the awards and see who wins Game 7. The Vancouver Canucks win the Stanley Cup Championship here in 2022-2023 as they defeat the Carolina Hurricanes in 7 with a 4-3 victory. Good for Vancouver. Salary cap expanded. Antti Ranta won't be re-signed. Jason Zucker and Oscar Sundqvist run off again. And, no Ray Whitney. So these 4, we're going to go Gary Suter. I like a good offensive defenseman. So we'll sim ahead to the next week. We'll see how quickly it sims. Game doesn't always sim all that fast, but it is what it is. I'll just talk here for a minute. And if it takes too long, I'll just pause the video. The magic of editing, right? So we're going to go through the off season, and we'll go up to day 1, day 1 of the regular season. We'll play that game, and that will be that. All right, so Hall of Fame runoff again. So Suter gets booted, so we'll vote for the defensive forward this time in Dave Taylor. Let's go ahead and delete all those messages. I'm watching the Red Sox game in the background here, and it has gotten ugly so far as Garrett Richards has, and they're going to end the inning. So one of these weird things that they're doing in spring training now where they just, instead of doing a pitching change, they just end the inning. So Garrett Richards came in to start the first inning, gave up 2 runs, loaded the bases, got 1 out, and they just ended the inning. It's weird spring training baseball stuff. All right, complete my ballot. Theo Fleury. NHL awards. Oh, come on with the runoffs, guys. You're killing me here. Theo Fleury. Is Theo going to make the Hall of Fame this year? I guess we'll find out in a little while. All right, so we're at the awards ceremony. So let's see who wins what. So Sebastian Aho won the Ted Lindsay. Aho won the Art Ross. Landeskog, the Richard Trophy. Austin Matthews, the Lady Bing. Duncan Keith won the Masterson. Drew Doughty won the Messier Award. And Thatcher Demko won the Jennings. So let's see. Hart Trophy goes to Sebastian Aho, 82 points, 82 games, 111 points. No surprise there. Sebastian Aho also won the Conn Smythe in a losing effort, which doesn't happen. But look at 43 points in 23 games for Aho. Calder Trophy went to Kent Johnson, 54 points in 79 games. Miro Heiskanen won the Norris. Alexander Barkov won the Selke for St. Louis. We made a run at Barkov, but I am happy with Couturier. Thatcher Demko won the Vezina. Jim Benning for Vancouver won the Executive of the Year, and Blaine Forsythe won the Coach of the Year. So there is your Coach of the. Those are your award winners. We've already looked at all that. So we can delete all those. And we're going to go ahead and continue up to... I have to remember this year on January 1st to expand the league and bring in the Kraken. I won't forget to do that this time because you can only do it on July 1st. So I want to pause there because I don't want to skip it like I did last year. NHL free agency preview. A lot of 2.5-star. OEL is available again. Sean Monahan. Might not be a bad pickup depending on what he asks for. Patrick Kane is a free agent. Ooh, the Kaner. Let's wonder what he's going to want. Tuukka is a free agent for Colorado. A lot of 2.5 potential. And a lot of these guys are going to be RFAs, like Moritz Seider, 2-star, potential 5-star. He's going to be an RFA, so he'll stay with Detroit eventually. Getzlav, Florida. Although his ratings are starting to drop. Quentin Byfield, yeah, like he's going to be an RFA. So you're not going to have a shot at Quentin Byfield unless you want to give up like 7 first-round draft picks or something. Ryan Hartman, PK Subban, Alexi Lafreniere is an RFA. He'll likely resign. Buchnevich is a free agent. Nolan Patrick, again, probably an RFA, although he is 24, so he might not be. Tristan Jarry, if anybody needs a goaltender. It doesn't look like there's going to be a ton. DeBrincat might be available. I don't know if he's going to be an RFA, though. But DeBrincat will be available. A lot of 2.5-star guys. So no elite UFAs with the exception of Kane, but that's a pretty substantial one. So let's go to... Yeah, I have to do it on July 1st. Let's just go to July 1st. So there is going to be a pause at July 30th because of the turnover from one season to the next. So I'll just be back on July 1st. All right, it's July 1st, so let's go in and go to commissioner mode and edit, and we got to add a team, right? And we got to add that team to here, and we change them to the Seattle Kraken. And then we move... Who's moving? I think it's Arizona, right? Who's moving? Give me a second. I think it's Arizona. I knew this not too long ago, but yeah, Arizona. All right, we'll shift to the Central. So we are going to move Arizona to the Central. We are going to import we're going to generate a schedule. New schedule generated. Expansion draft. Generate draft. It's on July 2nd. All right, so now we have to, I think, okay, so we got a lot of stuff going on here. Blackhawks fired their head coach. New Jersey, Peter Laviolette was fired. Alex Goligoski retired. Ilya Kovalchuk retired. James Neal retired. Jonathan Taves retired. And with Kane, a free agent, the Blackhawks could be bad. It looks like it's about it. Nobody really good. Ben Bishop, Corey Crawford. Tuukka retired. A lot of goalies retired. Ben Bishop, Corey Crawford, Tuukka Rask, Antti Ranta. All right, so he's happy with our work, and he has us as a rebuild, which I'm not going to do. But trade Jonathan Quick to Colorado for a 5th, so they move quickly to replace Tuukka, although Quick's not very good anymore. Sean Walker also traded. Barry Trotz is gone. Ulf Samuelsson retires. Good. I hate him. A lot of staff retires. Yeah, that's a lot of staff retiring. Nobody for us, though. And so we can delete all of this. So when is the draft? Expansion draft is on the 2nd. So I think we have to... where does it give us the opportunity? So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to save this, because if I screw this up and I neglect to protect anybody, that's going to be a problem. So that's going to be the first thing. So let's go ahead and I don't think there's anything else here I need to look at. Nope, so we're going to delete these just to kind of clean things up. So it's July 1st. We added a new team. Let's look at... Yeah, it's not done here. Where is it done? That's not... I mean, we'll sim ahead to the second, but I want to make a free agent offer or two first, depending on our finances. So let's look at the free agent center. So we got a little bit of money. We got more than I thought we had. Tarasenko and Claude Giroux. I didn't expect them to show up on here. Patrick Kane, Ilya Sorokin, Timo Meyer's back on the free agent market. So that was a bad trade for the Islanders. What do we need? What do we need? So if everybody's healthy, so we're going to get Coyle and Marchand back eventually. As Garrett Richards almost gives up a home run, but a catch made at the wall. So not a great start for Garrett, but he is back out there. So if we get Coyle and Marchand back, so our first line will be Couturier, Pastrnak, Marchand. Our second line will be oh man, that's going to be hard. What do I do with Newhook, who's just gotten so... I don't really know that I have a whole lot of openings for anybody in the lineup. I mean, maybe I wouldn't even say a depth center. I mean, Beecher's going to be... He hasn't grown yet. Eklund isn't quite there yet, but he's 5-star potential. Dylan Guenther... Yeah, I mean, Dylan Gunther's up to a 5-star. He's back with the team. I don't know that we have a lot of... I mean, in fact, we have so much excess talent, as it were, that it may be in our best interest to look to move somebody like Vakanainen along with, I don't know. Yeah, Corrali is probably going to be riding the pine most of the time. Maybe we look to move Quinn Olsen along with, I don't know, a defenseman. We just got a ton of talent. I mean, maybe a better defenseman, because we've got Bean and McAvoy as our only defensemen that are higher than 3 stars, but I don't think there were... That's the wrong button. I wanted to go here. Free agent center. We got a lot of free agents coming up. Yeah, I mean, Ekman Larson is the best defenseman available, and I think all these guys are going to want more than, I don't know, I mean, 8.5 or $8 million for 2 years for Patrick Kane's not terrible. What about Tarasenko? He wants 9 for 3. He's 31. Ilya Sorokin is an unrestricted. I don't need a goaltender. Stop looking at goaltenders. Claude Giroux. I mean, Giroux is the type of player that I love. Physical. He wants 7 for... Yeah, I mean, for 1 year, I think I can make Claude Giroux work on this team. He could play left wing and center. If we had him, we could move on. We could potentially package like Lauko and Quinn Olsen and try to get an elite defenseman. Maybe we do something like that. So we're going to lose people in the expansion draft too. So that's something to keep in mind. I don't know who we're going to be able to protect, but we are going to lose some people in the expansion draft. So that is something to keep in mind as well. Because I think we're only going to be able to keep one of these 2 goalies. We're going to be able to keep a couple of defensemen. I think it's 4 defensemen, and I don't remember. I simply don't remember. So I'm not even going to guess. We're just going to move forward and see what happens here. So let's put in an offer for Claude Giroux. I mean, I'm happy 1 year at, let's offer him 1 year at $7.75. And see if he likes that. Cool. I'd take Claude Giroux for 1 year at $7.75. So let's continue ahead a day. There we go. The players I want to protect. So I can protect 1 goalie, 3 defenders, and 7 forwards. That sucks. Oh, man, we are absolutely stacked, too. So, obviously, McAvoy, we have to protect. We are going to lose so many players from this team. This is going to be ugly. So, McAvoy. Let's do it like this. All right, let's figure out goalies first. We can protect one goalie. I think we protect Swayman, and that way, whether they take... Swayman's a 14, 16, he's 2.5. See, here's the deal: is if I protect Swayman, they're gonna take Blackwood. If I protect Blackwood, they're gonna take Swayman. And I think I'd rather. I mean, Gorgiev was great last year. But Blackwood is the better goalie just based on the ratings. I think I protect Swayman. Yeah, I mean, he's already almost as good as Blackwood in terms of ratings, and he's 2 years younger. So the Red Sox just hit a home run? No, that was yesterday, I guess. Yeah, that was yesterday. All right, so we're going to protect Swayman. It's probably the wrong decision, but call me nuts. There's something about the homegrown talent. Defensemen. We can protect 3 defensemen. We protected McAvoy. I think we protect Bean, who still has room to grow. And one more defenseman. I think it's got to be Carlo, right? Yeah, I mean, I'm going to lose so many players, I think. Well, actually, I don't think I can, unless they're allowed to take as many people from my team as possible. I think it's going to be Carlo. So we'll protect McAvoy, Carlo, and Bean, which leaves Kalisti, Giuliano, Grzelcyk, Gustafsson, Pelech, Vakanainen, Why Not, Bychov, Constantino, Langenbrunner, Olsen, and Timmins. All right, so now forwards. Marchand. Newhook. Couturier. Gunther. Wallstrom. Pasternak. And I can protect one more forward. That's going to be tough. Is it DeBrusk? I mean, if they take Coyle, I'm not going to be too Eklund, right? It's got to be Eklund. It has to be Eklund with his 5-star. Yeah, it has to be. Oh, God. Hopefully they can only take one player per team, because if they can take multiple, I am going to get raided, I think. Like, these are the 2 big ones, Blackwood and DeBrusk. But I don't want to give up on any of these. Yeah, I mean, Newhook's 4-star, Eklund's 5-star, Gunther's 5-star. Yeah, I gotta go. Like, this is what I have to go with. All right, let's continue. Let's go to the draft and see who we lose, shall we? Let's move on to the second. See what happens in free agency. I don't know what's going to happen with, let's see, did we sign? We did. We signed Claude Giroux for 1 year. Patrick Kane signed with the Calgary Flames. Tristan Jarry goes to the new Seattle Kraken as they get their goalie. Tarasenko with the Islanders. Team Canada offered me their job. I will go ahead and reject that. Maybe if Team US offers us a deal, we would take it. So let's go through the expansion draft and let's see who we lose. Wow, look at some of these names. Thomas Chabot. Wow. This Seattle team's gonna be really friggin' good. Wow. John Tavares. They took Gorgiev. All right. Capo Kakinen. Connor Ingram. This is going to be a really, really good hockey team. Wow. Okay. Next pick. Thomas Chabot and Morgan Riley are going to be their top 2 defensemen. Ryan Pulak. Eric Gustafson. All right, so we lost Gustafson. Frederick Ayard. Sean Dursey with the Kings. Dennis Cholowski. Carter Berger. Nicholas Bowden. Nicholas Bowden. JT Miller was the first forward they took. John Tavares from Toronto. Jason Dickinson. David Kampf. Lucas Wallmark. William Carrier. Cedric Paquette. Ivan Barbashev. Christian Fisher. Brett Howden from the Kings. Nicholas Roy. Eli Tolvanen. Sam Steele. And that's it. All right, so we got okay. We lost two defensemen, or we lost 2 players. We lost Gorgiev and we lost Gustafson. So that means our goaltenders this upcoming season will be Blackwood and Swayman, which is okay. So let's go ahead and make that move. Let's move him up. So we do need another goalie for Providence. Do we have anybody in Atlanta that we want to bring up? Ferguson can come to Providence. So Dylan Ferguson will be our backup goalie in Providence. So what does that – I don't want to say what does that leave us with. I mean, we really didn't lose much. We brought in Claude Giroux. So I think now we do need a defenseman, but we are going to make a move for one. And I think the key components are going to be Olsen and Lauko. So a couple of trades. Seattle traded Eric Gustafson to Chicago for a third. Cedric Paquette for a third. And Lucas Wall. So they picked up 3 third-round picks the day of the draft. So nice job, Seattle. I like what they did. Seattle Kraken is going to be they're going to be a really, really good team. So we do actually have a little bit more money now. It should be about $4 million. Yeah, because we lost or moved on, I guess, from Gustafson. So let's take a look. Justin Falk. No, let's go to trades. So Anaheim, do they have anybody we want? Ducks players. We just want defensemen. And I don't want somebody that's going to cost a ton because that's just going to require us to make more moves, and I don't want to make a ton of deals here. So, no, they don't really have anybody. Arizona, they're light on defensemen. Wouldn't mind Chychrun, but they won't give them to me. Yeah, there's no one there that really piques my interest. Buffalo, they're short at defense too. You give me Rasmus Dahlin, that would be nice. Calgary, they're weak at center. Do they have any youngish defensemen that are... I'm looking to make a relative splash here. So somebody who's, I would say, at least 3.5 star. See if we can lock something down like that. Who's currently 3 star, potential 3.5 or higher is really what I'm looking for. Nope. Carolina, Blackhawks. They have some older defensemen, but nobody that really, and they got a couple of younger ones, but nothing that can help me now. So they need help at goalie. They give me Cale Makar. Samuel Girard. Wow, they got some good young defensemen on their squad. I don't think they're going to move any of them, though. Columbus. Columbus has got some good defensemen. They got Werenski and Seth Jones. But that's really all they have. Guys, so hang on just a second, guys. I'm going to scroll through and find something, and I'll be back in a minute. All right, we're back. I found a team that I'd like to make a deal with, and I found a deal that says it's well balanced. I don't know if it's going to be accepted. We'll see. As soon as it comes through, I'll show you. If not, we'll go back in and we'll edit it around until we can make it. Agreeable, I guess. And it is going to add some salary. It is going to put us near the cap, so we're not going to have a ton of space to do anything with, which could hurt us going forward. But, because we do have, if you look at our upcoming free agents, we've got some things we're going to have to deal with. Corrali, I'm not all that fussed about. Grzelcyk, we'll see how he does, but he was hurt all last year. Pelech is up, so we are going to be losing some significant money off of the cap. Giroux is only on a 1-year deal. I would like to bring Carlo. Obviously, I want to bring Bean back, so that's something we'll have to take a look at as well. But let's play till the next day. We got the draft coming up on the 6th as well. So we'll see if this trade goes through. If it doesn't, I'll fiddle around with it until we can make it happen. And then we'll do the draft, and then I'll just sim ahead to the beginning of the regular season, and we'll play that game, and that'll be that. So sim ahead one more day, get to the draft and see, or the draft lottery, I guess, and see if the trade offer goes through. If it does, great. And this part of the video, unfortunately, it's going to be a little choppy. I've got some work stuff that I'm dealing with as well right now, so I'll be doing a little bit of both here. But again, the wonders of editing, and I will just edit it away. All right, so here you see the deal. It's Adam Fox that we're going after. Quinn Olson, Jacob Lauko, and Sean Corrali. They said it's close, so if we remove Corrali, because I don't think he's really making an impact on the deal, it's Olson and Lauko that they're getting. Is there anybody that we can give up here that I'd be comfortable with? We picked this guy up in the draft. He's 19. He's already pretty well developed. Roman Bykov, and Mason Primo, maybe? Yeah, see, it's not really moving the needle. Okay. So we might have to give up a little bit something more than what we thought, but I'm okay with that. Draft picks, we've got our first, 2 seconds, and 2 thirds. So we could give up a third. We gave up our third. We'll see what happens. Because we are going to get to the draft, and they're going to have to make a decision at the draft. So let's see who gets what. So the Maple Leafs get the number 16, Tampa 15, Washington, the Kings, Arizona, the Devils. Everything's in order so far. Dallas, Florida, San Jose. Wow, look at that. It's almost to the letter so far. Oh, New York gets the 5 pick, which means the Penguins are going to get a top 3 pick here. Montreal goes from the number 1 to the number 4, so that's a shame for them. Boo-hoo. Calgary gets the number 3 pick. Pittsburgh gets number 2, and the Seattle Kraken are going to get the number 1 overall pick, and they are a loaded team. I think they're going to be really, really good. So let's sim ahead one day to the draft. Sorry, I got a text message. All right. So let's go here. So draft order, Seattle, Pittsburgh, Calgary. We're picking 30th. So let's go back to the trade offer. Let's see if we can make something happen here with New York right away. So it was, let's go back to New York because I really want Adam Fox. Now, I don't know. Here's the deal. I want Adam Fox, but I don't. He's on the trade block. Okay, never mind. He's on the trade block. I was going to say it's not realistic, but he's on the trade block. So that makes it realistic to me. I don't know why he's on the trade block, but that's not my problem. So those two, well-balanced offer, and then I offered my third. Okay, let's pull the trigger. All right, so we have, there we go. That was the deal I wanted to make to improve our defense. Now we're rocking McAvoy, Fox, Carlo, Bean, and two other people. So we are in good shape. How many players do we have on the roster? So if I dress everyone. Okay, so we've got enough players dressed. So we do that. Carlo, Fox, McAvoy, Bean, Vakanainen, Grizzlick, and Pellick. So Vakanainen will be our 7th. Timmins will be our 8th. Do we have any forwards that we want to bring up? Not really, and that's a bit of a problem. Or actually, let's look at unsigned. Not for Providence, for Boston. Do we have anybody here? We're not very deep, and that's the problem. So we could bring in this Joakim Kermel. Yep, we'll bring him in. Anybody else? No, everybody else is 1.5 stars, so I don't really want to make any moves there. Are we going to lose anybody? We're going to lose Primo, and it's fine. Cameron, why not? We have, I think, through next season, so let's do draft info, yeah. So signing deadline, we're in 2023, so yeah, we have until next year on some of these guys, so that's fine. But we are going to have to potentially bring in a depth free agent or two, and we don't have any money. Okay. All right, so let's get through the draft first. Let's just get through the draft first and see what we can do. And we're not even gonna bother looking. I'm just gonna go ahead and sim ahead because we're not gonna land any of these guys. So let's pick until human. All right, so we'll just take a look here. Matvey Michkov was the #1 pick overall by Seattle. 2-star, 5-star potential. Just adds to their pile of awesome. Connor Bedard, Cohen Zeimer, Fantilli, Dylan Duke fell to #5 to the Islanders. Andre Molnar, Quinn Manti, Theo Lindstein, Christoffers, Giannis Krumans. That's a fantastic name. All right. So what is left? So what does the mock draft have us taking? Matthias Lindgren, a 1.5-star potential defenseman. No, I'm good. They think we should take Red Savage out of Miami of Ohio. I mean, I might do it just based off the name alone. That's a fantastic name. Andrew Cristal, I think that's the way to go. An 18-year-old, scored 54 points with Kaloops last year in the WHL. They're saying he's a risky... Oh, because he's only a C. AC. Well, I think everybody's AC, right? Yeah, everybody's AC. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take Andrew Cristal with our first pick, the Kelowna Rockets. So that works. Let's move to our next pick. So we got another 1.5, 2.5 here. Cole Miller out of Michigan. Does it mock draft go all the way that far? Yeah, it does. So who does it... Caden Price, a 1.5-star defenseman out of the same team. I don't know if I want to do that, though. So we got a couple of guys. Oh, right. And I was like, wait a second. That doesn't make any sense. All right, so we got one guy left who is, and that's who I'm going to take, is Cole Miller. Because we need some forward depth. So I'm okay with that. So let's go to our next pick. Safe suggestions. Red Savage is still available. Risky suggestions. Ramil Galiev. Jaden Perrin. I think Savage is the answer here, right? Or is it Ty Gallagher? Might be Ty Gallagher. I think it might be time to go defenseman. It's 1 star, 2.5 star. Yeah, Ty Gallagher. Welcome to Boston. Pick until human. Is Savage still there? He's not. But we got another 1 star, 2.5 star defenseman, Nathan Draper, who's playing in the Q right now. Looks like a pretty solid defenseman, 6'2", 201. Potential to become a regular player. Yeah, plays for the St. John's Sea Dogs. I like that. He's a big kid. Let's pick him. And I think that's it for us until like the 6th round. Yeah. All right. So now it's time maybe to go a little risky. Zach Ostapchuk, who doesn't play for anybody. He's a free. We played for is that Kamloops? Yeah, the Kamloops Blazers. Had 13 points as a 19-year-old in the WHL. Daniel Grigorev, an 18-year-old. Andre Beecher. Yeah, I'm not interested in that. So I think we're going to go Ostapchuk in the 6th. Or in the 5th, I guess. And now we're picking in the 7th. Looking for somebody who's got, here you go, you got a defenseman who plays for the who plays for Union, who's already got 14, where was he? Already has a 14 offensive rating as an offensive defenseman. So we'll go with Ryan Chesley and see if he does anything there. I think that's my last pick. Yeah, I don't think I have another pick, do I? Yeah, we're done. All right, so that's the end of the draft. We had one of the best drafts. Good for us. I'm very happy with that. And I think we bring in Crystal right away if he's interested. He is. It exceeds my budget. Yeah, okay. We're gonna have to figure something out here. I went a little wonky with our finances here. So let's look at where am I going? Salary obligations. Where can we move some money? There's not really a whole lot. I mean, do we just try to move Corrali for a late round pick? But again, that doesn't really help me. That doesn't really help me because all that does is give me another hole in my lineup. I've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I've got 14 forwards here that are on my roster currently, and I need 12. So I guess I could move one of them. The one I really want to move is Charlie Coyle, but I can't. He won't let me. But if I place him on the trade block, I might get an offer. So I think we'll do that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe it's time to move a defenseman. Maybe we look to move on from Pelech here a year early. And we can go Grzelcyk, Vakanainen, and Bean on the left, and McAvoy, Fox, and Carlo on the right. And then we can use Kalisti as our 7th. So let's try that. Pelech on the trading block. All right. So I've done that. So I'm going to sim ahead here a little bit. We'll come back at the Hall of Fame induction ceremonies. Did I give Pelech a no trade clause? Standard. It's got no movement clause. I don't know what the difference is between no movement and no trade. But hopefully I can move on from him here. Let's just see. Let's do... Where is it? It shows up in one of these trades. All right, so let's find a team that needs a defenseman, preferably in out west. Calgary needs a defenseman. They need a right defenseman, but yeah, he's using his no trade clause. So what's going to have to happen? And I don't know if this is a bug per se, but if you put somebody on the trade block and you get a trade offer, you can accept it even though the player has a no movement or no trade clause or whatever you want to call it. So I'd rather not move on from Larson. He was pretty good for us last year, but maybe I think, just to clear some roster space, if we can move Larson for a cheaper version of himself. Let's see what sorts of offers we get for Johan Larson. We get a lot, but they're all going to be pretty garbage. 7th round picks and other expensive players. There's a 21-year-old, but he's only a half star. All right, so we're going to have to hope for pretty good health this year, or we're not going to be very deep, and that could come back to bite us, but it's only going to be this 1 year. I think we'll be okay if we're able to get through this season. Oh, the Canadians are offering us a 3rd. I mean, do I just pull that trigger? Every other team's offering us a 7th. The Canadians are offering us a 3rd. They really want Johan Larson, so I think I'm going to do that. I mean, the Bruins and the Canadians making a deal isn't something that happens very often, but... so now we can go in to unsigned and bring in... I think I'm going to try to bring in both of these guys. Submit there. And offer contract. Cool. And then do we also bring in Why Not? No, he's still only a 13 across the board. All right, so that we moved Larson, and that's going to allow us to bring in Kamel and Cristal, which, I mean, it's not great. I mean, it's definitely a downgrade as Larson is a better player, but it does free up a center spot. And I don't know if we're going to be over the cap or under the cap come the we got $1.5 million. We have the second highest. I don't know what the cap is going to be. Team salary cap. Because I know it drops when the season starts, so we'll just have to wait and see it. I mean, we might have to make a difficult decision with somebody unless we can get an offer for Pelech or Coyle. And I might just pull the trigger if I can get an offer. So we'll see. All right, so I'm going to submit to August 1st. I'll be back on August 1st. We'll do the Hall of Fame inductions, and then we'll keep moving. All right, it's August 1st. It's time for the Hall of Fame induction ceremonies. Let's take a look at the notes here. So we did sign Cristal and Kernell. That's nice. Cristal, really good. I mean, he's going to be better than some of the players we have on the team already, although we'll probably start in Providence. And Kamel is, I mean, mentally he's not where he needs to be, but he's good offensively, the physical presence. So that's good. Edmonton and Colorado made a deal, nothing major. Actually, Martin Kaut in a 7th for Tyler Benson and Caleb Jones. So that's a good deal for the Oilers, I think, picking up a 23-year-old. Los Angeles trades an 18-year-old for Will Butcher. Connor Bedard signed. Anaheim. These are all draft picks. Development reports, nothing major there. Let's look at the free agent market to see who signed with who. Nick Foligno signed with Pittsburgh for a year. Let's look for big numbers. Sam Montembeault signed with the Kings, 3 years, 9.6. JT Compher, 3 years, 11 and almost 12 for the Rangers. So they took that money they saved from Adam Fox and gave it to Kampfer, I guess. Gustav Nyquist with the Blue Jackets. Thomas Tatar with Ottawa. Kasperi Kapanen signed with Detroit, 3 years, 13. Mike Hoffman with the Devils, 3 years, 14. Danton Heinen got $14 million from Minnesota. That's a deal. Oscar Lindblom got almost 15 for 3 from the Islanders. Kerfoot got 3 for 14. Now we're starting to get into some of the big ones. Ilya Sorokin signed a 5-year, $34 million deal with Minnesota. Philip Deneau and Jacob Trouba both signed with Vegas on 3-year deals. Jason Zucker with Detroit. Tristan Jarry, we saw that one with Seattle. It's a big deal. I want to look at that Seattle roster. Sean Monahan, a 5-year, $35 million deal with Edmonton. Ryan Sutter signed a 1-year deal with Ottawa. Adam Larson with Nashville. Drouin signed a 5-year deal with Seattle. Tarasenko signed a 1-year deal with the Islanders. Kane, as I said, with Calgary. Max Pacioretty signed a 1-year deal with Colorado. Timo Meier, a 5-year deal with Seattle. Wow. Let's look at the Seattle. Look at this team. They are going to be so good. That's crazy how good this team got off the expansion draft. So look at, especially defensively, Chabot, Riley, Bodin, Pulak, Chalowski, Allard. Is it Allard or a yard? I don't know. That's going to be a good team. That's a lot of money they have tied up. They got Tavares, Timo Meier, and JT Miller on their first line, I assume. Wow. It's a good team. And they got draft picks. They had the first round pick as well. So, or the number 1 overall pick as well. So they are a loaded team. So are we, though. We are really loaded as well. So, all right, it is August 1st. Development report we already looked at. I think at this point, do we want to look at any of our upcoming free agents? Do we want to lock anybody? Not with the Canadians. Do we want to lock anybody down now? Giroux, Constantino, Toporowski, Bean, Carlo, Timmins, Crowley, Grzelcyk, and Palak. So I think Carlo and Bean are the two we want to get signed, right? So let's sign Bean. I'm okay. 3 years at 4.1. And then Carlo, 3 years at 4.9. Yeah, that's fine. I'm okay with both of those. Because what's going to happen is Pellick's going to come off the books at 5.5. Grzelcyk is going to come off the books at 3.7. So that's going to make up. So that's basically going to be the difference next year. So we're going to lose Pellick and Grzelcyk. So we are going to have to make some moves defensively. I think signing Constantino might be a good start, as we're going to need some depth. We'll see how Giroux does. I mean, if he plays well, he wants 8.5 right now, but we'll see how he does as the season goes on. But these three, Pellick, Grzelcyk, Corrali, are all going to move on in the offseason, I think. So we're just now going to sim ahead to opening night, and then we'll play that first game of the year. So I'll be back in a few minutes. So we got a stoppage of play here. So Brandon Carlo signed a deal. We signed Carlo, Bean, and Constantino, so that helps our defense long term. Allegiances. We got some people who are dual citizens now. Pronger, Gonchar, Matthew Schneider, and Theo Fleury make the Hall of Fame, so good for them. New players should be comfortable soon. The Sabres and Kings. Ooh, Olmark for Gabe Velarde. Ooh, boy. Los Angeles. I'm not sure what you're doing there, but that's a tough one. So Detroit is offering up Emil Viro for Adam Pellick. Do I pull the trigger? Pellick is really, really good defensively. He's got 1 year left on the contract, and he's got it. Here's my thought. My thought is that these players have no movement clauses, no trade clauses, but a lot of times they'll waive them when they know that the team doesn't want them, right? So I don't know that this is the deal. Like, I mean, he's not that good. I mean, he's a 20-year-old in the ECHL, scored about a point every other game, average rating of 69. I mean, he's not terrible, I guess. Highly volatile. Yeah, I think I want a bit more of a sure thing. But I think I'm going to pull the trigger if I get a deal that I like. You guys tell me in the comments if you think I should not take advantage, I guess, for lack of a better term, of that bug. I don't know that it's necessarily a bug, but if you can't offer them up in a trade, you shouldn't be able to accept a trade that's offered for them. But we'll see. So we'll go ahead. My only concern is that I'm gonna have a really difficult decision to make once we hit the start of the season. If we aren't over the cap, we might have to waive some players that I'm not crazy about waiving, but we'll see. All right, we'll be back in a week and a month, or a month and a week. This is kind of choppy, but that's okay. Charlie Coyle's resuming skating. The Sharks have offered up Ozzy Wiesblatt, there we go, for Adam Pelech. Now that's a deal I can get behind. 1.5 star, 3.5 star forward for Adam Pelech. We're going to pull the trigger there, and we'll call it a deal. So that frees up that cap space that we were concerned about. Does make us a little weaker on the back end, but that's okay. We still have Grzelcyk, Vakanainen, Bean, Mac. We're really, really strong on the right side, so we can fiddle around with it. I mean, we'll probably go McAvoy. They can both play both. Yeah, I mean, Carlo can play left and right. McAvoy can play left. So we've got plenty of options here. So, and we should be good. Let's see. Yeah, we even have money left this year if we want to, make a run at a 7th defenseman or something like that. So maybe we do. Duncan Keith is not very good anymore. Kulikov is not good. Alec Martinez is not very good. So let's continue on here till the beginning of preseason. All right, it is October 2nd, and a lot of stuff has happened. There are a lot of players on waivers, and we're going to scour the waiver wire here in just a minute, but let's go back and take a look at what's happened since we last spoke. We talked about the trade with the Sharks, where we pick up Ozzy Wiesblatt, 5'11", 195-pound forward for Adam Pelech. San Jose and St. Louis made a trade. Sammy Blaze for Quinn Manti, who I think was drafted in this most recent draft. Development report, Giroux got a little bit worse. Not a big deal. A lot of the first-round picks were signed by their respective teams. Trade between Seattle and Toronto. Seattle picks up another third-round pick, this time in 2024 for Jason Dickinson. Amazing workout for Brian Rust. Good for him. Charlie Coyle's back. Trade between San Jose and Florida. Radim Simek for a 4th. That's nothing. OEL out for 7 months. Buffalo and LA. An 18-year-old defenseman for Josh Lavo. Salary cap reminder. I think we're okay. I think. We'll look. It's going to be $81 million. In fact, let's look at that right now. Oh, cap obligations. I think that's the number. We're at 82. So we are going to have to make some decisions here, as we are going to have to send some people down and save some money, or just get rid of some people, as I don't think we're going to be able to play with what we have. And there is a ton of talent on the waiver wire as well. So maybe we just sign who we want to sign and then figure it out afterwards. So you got a 2.5-star goalie. Jacob Skarek is on there. Ty Dellandria's 3.5 star. Jared Mcizek is the one that I'm looking at. He is on the waiver wire right now. He's 22, 3.5 star potential. I mean, I feel like I have to. 14 and then 13s across the board. Joe Veleno is on the waiver wire. Man, there is some talent here. I think we make a run at Mcizek. And then we'll sim ahead to opening day. And then we'll just sort out the roster. I mean, if we got to make some moves, we got to make some moves. We'll get Marchand back here at some point. And we'll have to figure it out. But, yeah, we've got... some decisions we're going to have to make before the season starts. Another interesting player on waivers, Carson Kuhlman. I wouldn't say he's interesting. I would say he's Carson Kuhlman. Let's sim to the next day. Yeah, and we may have to look at like waiving Grzelcyk or maybe moving Grzelcyk right away. That might be something we have to do. So we picked up Mcizek. Season preview. We are a team to beat. Ozzy Wiesblatt can have number 19. That's fine. All right, so let's delete all these messages. New Jersey waived Nolan Foote. Okay. So our roster. So we're actually okay. This says we're at 77 million. Okay, so we're fine. All right, so we've got 24 players. We got to send somebody down. It's going to be Wiesblatt because he's only 1.5 star. Everybody else up here is 2 stars. So we're gonna have 2 forwards and 1 defenseman benched. And who do we want that? I think it's Mcizek is going to be our 7th. And then we'll plug him in for Grzelcyk next season. Forward-wise, we're going to bench Corrali. We're going to play Gunther. And I want to get... Well, I don't... I think Beecher's going to be the odd man out here initially. Sokolov was just so good in the amount of time that he had last year. I don't know how I can justify it. And then these guys are just... My draft picks are just better. 14, 14, 14, 13. Well, I don't know. Beecher's probably a bit better defensively than Kristalis, so maybe we'll give Beecher a shot to start at center and make Kristal the... Kamel's up to 3.5 star now. I mean, he's a D that he's going to reach that, but we're not confident that he's going to reach that, but he could. All right, so let's look at the lines. Let's clear everything. All right. And how long is... we forgot about Marchand. Injuries. Where am I going? Roster. Injuries. He's day-to-day. Is he still non-playable? Still game unavailable. He'll be back sooner or later. And we'll have some decisions to make with the team then. But Couturier. Where is David? There he is. Pasternak. And we're going to leave Newhook on that line because he did so well last year. Our second line center, is it going to be Eklund this year? 14, 13, 14, 13. No, it's still going to be Coyle. Charlie Coyle. Our second line center with DeBrusk on his left and Wallstrom on his right. Third line center will be... Do we go Giroux? Or do we put Giroux on the wing? So I think I want to put Giroux centering Gunther and Sokolov. I want him centering a couple of young players. And then the fourth line will be Kamel, Beecher, and... Or do we put Eklund? I think I'm going to put Eklund as the third line wing. Yeah, so we're going to have Giroux centering a couple of young players. And that makes me feel pretty good. Although, do I make Giroux my second line center? Let's look at him. He's listed as a left wing, but he can play either. scored 24 goals. I think I'm going to swap this up. I think I'm going to make Coyle my third line center and Giroux my second line center with DeBrusk and Wahlstrom. Yeah, I'm happier with that. So Pastrnak will be my number 1 here, then Wahlstrom, then Gunther, then DeBrusk, and Newhook, and we'll put Patrice in there someplace. And what we'll do is we'll probably send Sokolov down when we get Brad back and just shift everybody down one. Although I'm not sure what I'm going to do here. It's a good problem to have, I guess. So we'll make McAvoy, put McAvoy there. Adam Fox. We go McAvoy and Fox, I think, is our top defensive pairing. That's just crazy good. Carlo and Vakanainen, I believe. And then Bean and Grzelcyk as our third pair. That is a really, really good defensive pairing. So Blackwood's going to be our starting goalie. Jeremy Swayman's going to be the backup, but they're going to split the time pretty evenly. Couturier will be our number 1 extra attacker, and I think Giroux will be our second extra attacker. All right, so power play. Let's set that up similarly. So Couturier and Pastrnak with Newhook. Yep, and then we're going to put Giroux out there with Wahlstrom and DeBrusk. So let's get all these set up, and then we'll set up the defense and the point forwards and stuff in a moment. 4-on-3, we'll go Couturier and Pastrnak. We'll go Giroux and Wahlstrom, I think. All right, so defensively, we're going to have Bean as one defenseman and McAvoy as the other. And then on the point, what is Gunther considered here? What is he good at? He's a goal scorer. So maybe we switch this around a bit and put, who am I looking for? Where is he? Newhook. Newhook's an offensive forward. So yeah, I think what I'm going to do is move Newhook here, put Gunther here, and swap those two. Right. And then on the second power play line, do we go 2 defensemen? Yeah, I think we'll go Bean and Fox. So McAvoy and Newhook on our first power play, Fox and Bean on the second. We'll set the defense. And then once we set the defense, I'll go back and I'll set everybody's play types or whatever you want to call it. So defensively, we're going to have Couturier out there. We're going to have Coyle out there. And we're going to have Giroux out there. With whom, and whom? That's the question. Beecher will go out there with Giroux, I think. Wahlstrom with Coyle and Couturier. I want to get Marchand back, and I can just plug him in there. But I think we'll go, I guess, Couturier and Newhook to get a little bit of offense out there, I suppose. I don't know if that's necessarily the best thing to do, but that's what we're going to do. On the 5-on-3, we're going to go Couturier and Giroux down the middle. Defensively on the power play, we'll just load up the top, McAvoy and Fox, Carlo and Grzelcyk, and then Bean and Vakanainen. And we'll change this up so that line doesn't play as much. 45, 35, 20. That works. McAvoy, Fox, Carlo, Grzelcyk. McAvoy, Fox, Carlo, and Grzelcyk. 4-on-4 and 3-on-3. All right, so centers, same deal. We're going to stick Giroux in there and Couturier. Oh, we got a couple flyers. I didn't even realize that. With Pastrnak and Wahlstrom. And then defensively, 4-on-4, McAvoy and Fox and Carlo and Vakanainen. And then 3-on-3, we're going to go McAvoy and Fox, Couturier, Pasternak, Giroux, Wahlstrom. And then goalie starts. We are going to start the backup pretty regularly, and we will go 4 there, start the best goalie, alternate. Yep, so that's good there. All right, so let's go back to the lines really quickly, and let's set up each of their ratings. Okay, he's good as a playmaker. Couturier, you're not going to get any better than a 20. A 20 there. So Wahlstrom is a sniper. Is that what I want him as? Looks like it's his best option. Giroux is a playmaker. Sure, because we got a sniper. We got 2 snipers and a playmaker. That could be, I'm good with that. That could be a high-scoring line. Eklund, playmaker. Coyle, I think is fine as a power forward. And Gunther as a, yeah, he's got to develop here a little bit. So, and then the 4th line, Sokolov is fine as a power forward. Beecher as a grinder and a playmaker. And these all look good unless we want to make him anything different than, nope, he's fine there. These actually all look okay, surprisingly. We're going to make Grzelcyk a 2-way defenseman, though. Yeah, so I'm good with that. So we have our line set up, and our first game of the year is against Tampa. So let's get right to it and play that game, and let's see if we can go 1-0. All right, so Newhook, Couturier, Pasternak, DeBrusk, Giroux, Wahlstrom, Eklund, Coyle, Gunther, Sokolov, Beecher, Kamel, McAvoy, Fox, Carlo Vakanainen, Bean, Grzelcyk. In goal is, they're going to start Jeremy Swayman in this one. Hugo Alnefet is going to be starting for Tampa. No Vasilevsky, huh? We'll have to see where he is. So let's get to game number 1 here. Finish up this episode. The start of season number 4 for the Boston Bruins. Made it to the Stanley Cup Final 2 years ago. Last year we got knocked out in Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals, so we're hoping to bring home Lord Stanley's Cup this year. So let's see how this one goes. A minute in, no shots on goal. There's the first shot by Pasternak. It goes wide. Bruins take it back. Opportunity, shot, save, shot, save. So 2 shots for the Bruins. Now breakaway for them, and the save is made by Swayman. So the rookie, Jeremy Swayman, makes his first save on a breakaway. We lost, if you remember, we lost Georgiev in the expansion draft to Seattle, who is absolutely loaded. So we are going to keep an eye on the Kraken this season. They're probably going to be one of the teams to beat out west, as they look really, really good. The way the expansion draft is held in the NHL really gives these expansion teams an opportunity to get off to a good start. You're not going to see any more of the expansion teams like you saw with Ottawa and San Jose back in the 90s, where they won under 10 games or in the teens. I mean, it's going to be more like Vegas, I think, going forward. So 5 minutes in, no score yet. Get the puck behind the net, get it back. Shot, save, doesn't make it through. We get the rebound and then we lose it. So I'm excited about this team this year. We got some talent. We got a nice mixture of experience and depth and some young players, as DeBrusk is going to go to the box. So, it's going to be a matching penalty. So 4-on-4, shot is held on to. Yeah, we have a nice mixture of youngsters and experience. You know, having Couturier and Giroux and Coyle up the middle is going to go a long way for us, I think. We get Marchand back soon, so we'll stick him on that top line with Couturier and Pasternak and just let them go. And that moves everybody down a slot, and it just makes our team that much deeper as Swayman is able to make the save there. And we got a quick timeout on the ice, so I'll be right back. All right, we're back. Sorry about that. Back from the TV timeout, and we'll get back to play here. We have the puck, shot on goal. It's an interesting TV timeout right in the middle of play. Players all stop where they are. So a little bit more than midway through the first period, no score yet. Not a ton of offense. We're out shooting them. I think it's 4-3 now. And Grzelcyk is going to go for tripping. So we're going to be a man down for a couple minutes. Cleared out by the Bruins. Tampa loses the puck. Bruins get it back. Down under a minute left on the PK. And the puck is cleared out of play. We have the puck. Power plays up. Shot. Score. There we go. Oliver Wahlstrom from Matt Grzelcyk and Charlie McAvoy. And we get on the board with 3:48 left to go in the first period. 1-0 Bruins. Tampa trying to even the score. We get the puck back. Cleared in deep. And, oh, that's just terrible. Poor Igor out with bruised testicles. I don't know. I mean, he'll be out there for the rest of the game because he's a hockey player, and that's a bug within the graphical engine of this. He'll keep playing through the end of the game, but he'll be out for a while afterwards. And you can't blame him. I'd be out too. So we're down to a minute and a half left in the first. We're up 1-0. Oliver Wahlstrom from Grzelcyk and McAvoy. First goal of the year for the Bruins. And that's the end of the period. So we're up 1-0. We're out shooting them 7-4, just the one goal. Oliver Wahlstrom picks up goal number 1. And he was a great pickup for us last year in the Timo Meier deal. So that worked out well. Swayman makes the save there. Shot goes wide. Bruins take it out. Looking to extend this lead. Puck is cleared into the benches. We are going to have a really, really good offense once we get Marchand back. Move Newhook down to either the second or the third line. I'm not really sure which one yet. Breakaway opportunity, shot save, shot save. His point production is going to drop off, but if he's playing with Coyle or Giroux, I don't know exactly how much it's going to drop off. It might drop off a little, but it won't be terrible. It's cleared down deep. We get it back, and it's cleared into the seats. Back in. Shot kicked out by their goaltender. It's not Vasilevsky. Vasilevsky's on the bench. So it looks like they're starting a youngster in place of the veteran Andrei Vasilevsky here. As are we. I mean, I guess technically Mackenzie Blackwood is our veteran and Swayman is our rookie. So Jeremy Swayman gets the start here on opening night, and Tampa scores to tie it. Braden point from Paul and Colin Miller. So Swayman had stopped the first 7 shots he faced, but the 8th beats him, and it's 1-1. Going offsides. Puck's going to be iced by the Lightning. Coyle on the draw. Wins it cleanly. Shot doesn't make it through. Shot doesn't make it through. Shot doesn't make it through. So I think they had 3 straight shot blocks there. That third one may have made it through. It's hard to tell sometimes. There's an opportunity behind the net. Nope, that one doesn't go in. By DeBrusk had a nice opportunity there. Hold on to there. So Swayman makes the save that time, and Tampa goes in offside. So we're midway through the hockey game, 1-1. Pasternak's going to go for holding, so Tampa's going to go on the man advantage again. Oh, we do have 4 players out there. I only saw graphics for 3 momentarily. Shot, save, another shot, and another save. And we're able to clear that one down. So we kill off the first minute. There's going to be a face-off outside the zone. Cleared out again. And we get the puck back as we try to kill off the rest of the man advantage. And we are able to as Swayman makes the save. So Tampa's now 0 for 2 on the man advantage. Sean Couturier is going to go for hooking. Come on. Just 3 power plays in a row, 3 penalties in a row called on us. And none for them. Well, they did have the matching minor, but we kill off the first minute. And are we able to kill off the rest? Yes, we are. So they're now 0 for 3 on the power play. 4 minutes left. Going to break the tie. Oliver Wahlstrom scored in the first, and Braden Point scored for them. Taking it to us here a little bit in the second period. There's an opportunity that's kicked aside by Swayman. Shot blocked. It goes behind the net. Tampa changes up. Down to the final minute of play. Shot. There's a good opportunity turned aside. And we're going to go to the third, tied at 1. We're out shooting them 18-12. Alnfelt. Alnfight? Is that an E or an I? Those are both L's. Alnfelt for Tampa. And Jeremy Swayman for us. Again, Wahlstrom got the first goal of the game from Grzelcyk and McAvoy. Then Point from Paul and Colin Miller. So let's go to the third and see what happens. We win the draw, clear it down in deep, and they ice it. Face off to the right of Allenfeld. We get the puck back in and then lose it. And Steven Stamkos from Victor Hedman, a minute and a half in, beats Swayman all alone, and we're now losing. That's disappointing. You always come into a new season full of hope and wonder, and, you know, one game obviously doesn't mean anything, but I don't want to lose. I don't want to only score 1 goal in this game. I figured we'd have a really, really solid offense as Tampa ices it. Excuse me again. As I mentioned, this video is a little choppy. I've had to break it up a few times. I apologize for that, but it is what it is, and we tie it up. Matt Grzelcyk from the point. Oh, no. Sean Couturier on the tip from Grzelcyk and Newhook. So the shot from the point tipped in by Couturier, and we are even at 2. So that's what we needed. Get this one even. See if we can't break that tie. Iced by Tampa again. Held on to. Face off to the right of Allenfeld. Wahlstrom wins the draw. Shot. Ooh, Allenfeld holds on to it again. That line, Giroux, Wahlstrom, and DeBrusk looking pretty good here tonight. Taken away by the Bruins. We're midway through the third. Saved by Swayman. That shot goes wide. Puck deflected into the seats. Cleared to center ice by Tampa. Bruins have it. They skate into the zone and turn it over. That's taken back by the Bruins, and Alex Newhook is out with a fractured jaw. So I've now lost 2 of my forwards here in the first period. I mentioned that I needed this to be a healthy season because of our contract issues. We score there, which is nice. Giroux from Fox and Coyle, so Claude Giroux gets his first point as a Bruin. But we are going to be down 2 forwards when this one's over, so hopefully we get Marchand back here shortly. These are major injuries. These aren't day-to-day ones, especially that one. The fractured jaw is going to keep Newhook out for a while, which is unfortunate. This was the year I was expecting the leap from Alex, as he has been playing on that first line really since the middle of last year. At any rate, we're up 3-2. Claude Giroux scored. He picks up a penalty here, so we're going to be shorthanded again. We haven't had a power play in this game, but we've committed. We're now shorthanded for the 4th time. Got to keep this one closed down and finish off the final 5. get the puck out, and that's going to about do it on the power play. Yep, so we kill that one off as well. They keep it in, though. We do get it back, so we're under 4. There is our first penalty, as Jeremy Langlois is going to go for high sticking, so we're a man up now. Tampa wins. We get the initial draw, but then they clear it out. Here's the shot. Tampa is going to... penalty on Charlie McAvoy kills our power play. So it's going to be 4-on-4 for the next 40 seconds. Then they're going to be a man up again for a minute 20. There's only a minute 40 left in the game. So saved by Swayman, cleared into the seats. Puck is cleared down. We're down to a minute left. Bruins have it. 30 seconds left. Bruins get it back, and that's going to do it. So we win on opening day by the final score of 3-2. Let's take a look at how it happened. Oliver Wahlstrom, first goal of the year from Grzelcyk and McAvoy. That would be the only scoring of the first. In the second, point would come back to tie it from Nick Paul and Colin Miller. And then in the third, Steven Stamkos would score from Hedman to give Tampa a 2-1 lead. Couturier would get the game equalizer at the 4:42 mark. And then Claude Giroux would score his first goal as a member of the Bruins, giving us a 3-2 victory. Nobody with a 70 rating. DeBrusk had an 80 offensive rating, so our scores were a little bit low. Swayman stopped 22 out of 24. I will take it in his debut. And we win. So let's take a look at those injuries and see where we stand. 1 to 2 months for Newhook, so we'll put him on the injury list. Sokolov, he's day-to-day, so we'll replace him with Cristal. Get Corrali out there, and we got to make some changes to the lines. Yeah, still doesn't say anything about Marchand, so we're still going to be without him for a bit. So let's just quickly make the adjustments to the line. So we're not going to leave Corrali on the first. In fact, I think we might just do that. Let's just flip the kid and put him on the first and see how he does. Same thing with the power play. Oh, right, it's a defenseman that we gotta replace. I think we'll just go. Eklund. Yeah, because we lost. God, that sucks. We lost 2 of our power play bodies. Pasternak. I'm going to do that. All right. So that's going to do it for this episode. It's a longer one. The off seasons usually are. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know how you feel about my signings and my off-season moves, if you think I made the right decisions. And until we talk again, I appreciate you guys coming and hanging out, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye-bye.